Black, Poetic G. Beautiful love, always.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm King George. I am the owner of T.Y.I Productions. I am the curator of BLK31 magazine. Today, I'm here with another special guest from the community. This sister right here is a extreme singer and songwriter. She's a keyboardist, a vocalist, and she is involved in music. So, without further ado, can we please give it up for Miss Kouraj? Let's go.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'm happy to be here.
Listen, thank you. Listen, thank you for coming to the show. We love these type of engagements, so thank you just for tapping in with us.
Oh, of course, man. Thank you for asking me to be a part and talk to me and everything. It's a big deal. It means a lot.
Absolutely, and you should be recognized. So as we jump right into it, let the people know who is official Kouraj.
Hi. That's me. No, I'm kidding. I'm Kouraj. Like you said, I'm a singer-songwriter from Philadelphia. Been in the game for about 5 years now. I'm a keyboardist, a part of the band Altruistic Vision. I'm also one of the vocalists for Harvest Group Band. What else? I just dropped the album this year. I dropped my debut album this year, back in April, called The Beautiful Complexity Saga. Make sure you tap in and check it out. Let me know what you think. I'm a follow backer. I like food, and like what else? I guess that's it for now. Just like some nice fun facts.
Yes, absolutely. What does music mean to you?
I believe that music, to me, is just a way of life. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely helped me through so many different points in my life, good, bad, ugly, and pretty, and it's always been a source of therapy for me, and as well as a source of connection as well. Even before I started pursuing my own career in music, but once I began writing, it really helped me discover, different ways of, processing a lot of things that I couldn't process before. Because I'm not the best sometimes with my words. But when it comes to like my music and writing it down in a song, in that way, it's like a no-brainer. It's like second nature. So it's definitely a way of life for me, and it's like to the point where it's like I can't imagine my life without music. Yet alone even doing my own music at this point. Because once I started, I was like, all right, I'm gonna see if I can actually do this. Let me see if I can actually like invest and see if and then once I was really into it, I was like, oh yeah, no, I can't go back. I can't go back. This is it.
I hear that. When did that writing journey start, and how therapeutic is writing for you now?
I would say writing consistently and understanding what I was writing. I would say maybe 21, but I've always written things growing up. Like the first song I ever wrote, I was 14, but like I didn't really understand, like what. Like I was like 14, 15. You don't really kind of like understand like the power behind the words that you say when you're that young. You're just trying to get it off your chest and get it off your mental and off your heart so you can, move on. But when I really started truly like diving into writing on a consistent basis, I would have to say I was about 21. And I would say it's therapeutic for me now because it's helping me face certain things and certain truths that, you know, that I don't want to face as an individual sometimes, which is what your writing does for you,
Yeah.
you know, because it eventually becomes, whether that's, you know, songwriting or even poetry or even just writing a passage down to just, you know, release it from your body.
Yeah.
It's become a form of where if I'm not doing it, I kind of like don't know how to like function a little bit. Like right now, even like for like me, I would say maybe the past, you know, few months, I haven't been writing like that, and I couldn't figure out why. And then I realized I was a little afraid of what I was about to write, you know, because it was just, you know, certain truths that, you know, you didn't want to face, or, you know, whether they were good truths or bad truths, because, you know, change is hard sometimes, and it's very therapeutic for me because it helps me like acknowledge the change that's like and the shift that's going on in my personal life as well as my music career as well. So it's definitely been very therapeutic during this time of transformation for me.
Okay. Okay. That's heavy. That's heavy. Here's a thought. It is a question to who are some of those great inspirations who inspire you to sing? And also, I want to make that a double question.
Okay.
And also, do you have a favorite instrument that you love to play?
I'll go backwards. I would have to say my voice. My voice is my instrument. You know, like I love playing the keyboard, but I started taking that passion more seriously, a little later in life.
Yes.
Versus singing has always been, that's always been my instrument. That's all. I've went to music school, so I was trained. Have a lot of vocal training, and you know I've been singing since I was a little girl. Like my first performance was on stage at 5 years old. You know, with performing at a church, my school Christmas play.
Yes.
So you know, it's always been a part of me, and I come from a long line of music lovers as well as musicians and vocalists as well. So that I definitely learned how to train my voice and to take it as seriously, which is my instrument.
Yep.
So I would definitely say that's my favorite thing, as my instrument is changing and my voice is changing, because, you know, you get older, your voice changes. So, like, learning the new aspects of my voice, like you do when you learn a new instrument. What's up, bro? And just going down that journey is just even exciting at the same time for me. So I would definitely have to say that, and then I would say my keyboard.
Oh, that's
because my keyboard, I'm learning. I'm just diving into it a little bit more as far as my skills, because I would definitely say I'm still, like, I'm not a beginner, but, you know, I still have a lot to learn. So I'm just starting to learn those new things, and that's a really exciting journey. And some of my inspirations, I would definitely have to say Disney movies. I would definitely have to say that. I'm a Disney lover, grew up watching that all my life. Whitney Houston, Jasmine Sullivan, Jill Scott, Lauryn Hill, definitely, and some Broadway shout outs, like I would say Cynthia Erivo right now, because, you know, she I didn't know her when I was younger, but just, you know, Indina Menzel, Adele, like any like, and even little things like Doja Cat, it's just like, I feel like each artist that I've had has, like, contributed to what it is now. But, like, back then it was definitely real heavy on, like, the Whitney Houston, Lauryn Hill, you know.
Yes.
Like, little.
Oh, that's heavy. That's heavy. That's excellent. That's excellent. Now, I want to ask you some questions. I want to see where your mind is at vocally, about different artists who use their vocals, and I just want to see which ones you choose. Just some fun questions. and they're gonna be some heavy hitters. They're gonna be some hard heavy hitters. Patti LaBelle or Jennifer Hudson.
Patti LaBelle.
Okay. Okay. That's heavy.
There would be no Jennifer without Patti. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I respect it.
There would be no Jennifer Hudson without Patti LaBelle. Personally, my own opinion. Y'all don't have to agree.
Yes.
My own opinion. But just yeah, I feel like her vocal control. I really love Jennifer Hudson's voice a lot.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of belters. Like that's a skill that you can learn. You know what I'm saying? And like there are certain strengths like about Jennifer Hudson. Like oh, that's a good one. Someone
that's heavy.
That's heavy. See that one.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Oh,
that's heavy.
That's a good one. See, that's a good one. But yeah,
that's heavy.
That's what like with Jennifer Hudson. I feel like she was they're kind of like apple and orange a little bit, where when it comes to their vocal style.
Yes.
Even though they're both belters, I feel as though Patti LaBelle. What am I trying to say? I'm not trying to mess up. I feel like Patti LaBelle just has a certain vocal control and with her dynamics.
Yes.
A little bit stronger than Jennifer Hudson. Other than that, yeah, that's about it.
Absolutely, and I like what you put in there, blood brother Mike. But I got another heavy one, another heavy hitter. Aretha Franklin or Shaka Khan.
Ooh. I think, that's a good one. Aretha Franklin or Shaka Khan. I think I would have to say Aretha. I just like comparing the two together, I just really love Aretha's tone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I really like her tone. I love how full her voice is. You know? Yeah, yes. And I was like, that compared to Shaka Khan, who's like a sax, who's like a saxophone, where you know she can get up there, she's up there, like you up there, girl. So it's like I think out of the two going head to head, I think I would say Aretha.
That's heavy. Aretha Franklin, you got the nod. But both of them is heavy. Both of them is heavy.
In their own right. Like all these people are people in their own right. Like I grew up listening to all of them, so it's like, so it's all like apples and oranges. And if we had to choose,
absolutely. Now this is a good one too. And vocally, this is mainly vocals.
Okay.
R. Kelly or Cisco.
Cisco was let's talk from Cisco real quick. Just remind me real quick. I know him, but I feel like I'm confusing him with. I feel I'm confusing him with someone else. That's why I'm like, what's his biggest?
Well, Cisco was in Drew Hill. He was in the group Drew Hill.
Right. I feel like I'm leaning more towards R. Kelly a little bit, but like I feel like it's like not by like that much. Like I feel like they're both like right here for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like R. Kelly's just got like that little bit of nudge.
Yeah.
left on him. That's how I feel about that one right there.
Absolutely. And
Jennifer Hudson.
absolutely. Oh, absolutely. He talking about J Hud or Beyonce. Oh, absolutely. Jennifer Hudson all day. And she showed that on Dreamgirls.
Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah, in one movie she showed it. That was heavy.
I'm not gonna set myself up to be attacked by the Beehive because I love Beyonce, I love Jennifer Hudson, but I'm gonna just leave that there.
I hear that.
Beyonce's a great entertainer.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Absolutely. I got a good one. And I think what I'm gonna do on this one is gonna be group. It's gonna be group vocals. The Temptations or Boys the Men.
Temptations. There's 5 of them. No, 5 and 3. So it's like, even though boys to men can definitely hear themselves. I was like, what? He said, don't do that. Like, listen, this is where I'm at with it, right? Like, the Temptations, I feel like it's the same as Aretha. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you put them like next to each other, like half a good portion of the Boys to Men covers are the Temptation songs. So, so it's like, if you really think about it, it's kind of a no-brainer there. Now if you said a song like the Temptations and the 5 Heartbeats, I feel like, then that'd be like a little challenge.
Still tempting.
Still tempting. Eddie. Yeah, Eddie. No.
You know why I still take the Temps over the 5 Heartbeats and over a lot of other groups like the OJs.
That's a good point.
Like. Oh yeah, absolutely. You know why? I got
the fourth member, the baby. I'm sorry. That definitely adds it. He's like, I did you wrong. I did nothing wrong to you, baby, but I love you anyway. That really. I was like, that's true. That's true. I didn't think about that. I was thinking of just the 3.
Yeah, they was the Dells. Yeah, the 5 Heartbeats was actually the Dells. Blood Brother Mike put in it. Absolutely. Yes, they definitely was. And then the reason why Temptations was so heavy, right? David Ruffin, man. David Ruffin voice was so unique. It was so powerful and so unique. During that time, he got one of the most unique voices of all time.
Mm-hmm. Very unique. Very unique.
Yeah, absolutely. Most importantly, right? When it comes to writing your music, what kind of zone are you in when you write your music? Is it always different vibes? What type of regiment do you have when you getting ready to get into the mode of creating your music and getting in the studio?
I think my writing headspace is a lot different than my recording headspace. Because by the time I hit the studio, I'm ready to share the message. Okay. I've come to a place of peace where I'm ready for the song to get out. I'm ready for the message to be told.
Yes.
So at this point, ain't nothing to it but to do it. Like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But definitely during my writing process, I think it depends on honestly what I'm going through a lot in the moment. My music is very connected to, just my life and just experience, my personal experience. Because I always tell everyone that I want my music to not just feel like my own, because I'm a firm believer that no matter what exact detailed situation you're going through, we've all experienced happiness, we all experience sadness and loneliness and, feelings of success and, excitement. We all share those similar feelings and emotions. So a lot of the time I catch myself writing when when I am, kind of just really like in a really heavy headspace, and I catch myself not really knowing how to process certain situations. So even if it is, oh, I love that. Tastes delicious. Happy Taste Delicious Day, madam. I love that. Mwah, to you too. But it's just as I was saying. Sorry, ADHD. But I definitely catch myself always in a certain headspace, and that is when I'm ready to just like kind of just get it out. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
my writing up to this point has definitely been a lot heavier because most of my writing was about situations that I couldn't really verbally talk about with other people, and not saying I wasn't allowed to or anything like that, but more so just not knowing how to, and not knowing how to be vulnerable in that way with people. So it was definitely a form of release, like really really heavy release. Um, and there are other times where I'm gonna be honest, I'm angry as hell. There are some times where I'm angry and I'm just like, all right, I need to get it out. And but lately, I've been trying a new technique with my writing, which is just still trying to get myself to kind of just write about where I am in the present moment, um, and just trying to write as soon as I'm like going through things, or if I even just get the urge to write. I try to, even if it's one or two sentences, I try to get it in there and try to process how I was feeling in that moment. So it's definitely connected to my emotions, my writing. Like if there's no emotion in there for me, like it is not happening. You're just gonna be staring at a piece of paper.
Yes. Yes. I understand. I understand. When you gather all that up, right? When it comes to music, writing, and everything, right? How do all of that tie into mental health, and how important is it for you to have your mental clear when you're going inside the booth?
Mm, that's a great question. Um, when you say mental health, you mean just for me or just in general?
Oh, also, yeah, yeah, that's for you, but also just how it just ties into that music.
Oh, okay. Definitely because my music definitely talks about depression and anxiety, and just also just feeling lost and not knowing your place in life, or even in the world. Because there's a lot of things going on. Because we have what's going on in the actual world, and then we have what's going on in our world. The world that can be touched, is tangible. We have everything that's going on in the actual world around us. So I definitely feel as though it's important to express, because it is a form of expression. Even if no one hears it ever again. Like even if no one hears those words at all. It's just a form of release, and it's a form of expression,
Yes.
to be able to get it out. And the importance of getting it out of your system is because your body it takes in everything. Whether that's your mental, whether that's your mind, your body, your soul, or your spirit. That it holds on to things. Like for example, I have locks, and every time people tell me about my locks, I explain just how important it is, how even things that you go through even affect your hair or your eyes, or like your eyelashes, or things like that, because our body is not equipped to bottle up, to ice,
Yeah.
to internalize. We are not built that way. We are communicative creatures. We are communicative. Uh, we are meant to express.
Yes.
So doing the opposite, I believe, is just literally being the opposite of what a human being is.
Mm.
Because if we didn't want emotions, if we weren't going to have emotions or anything like that, we'd be animals. And in all reality, even animals have emotions, and you see how they are with one another, and how expressive they are even to one another.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm like, if you can see animals be expressive to us, and they can't even speak to us, we have the power of a voice. We have the power of words, and
Yes.
that's the best form a human being can express themselves. You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely, sister. Absolutely. Um, when it comes to the inner city, when it comes to being out of the inner cities, right? What is the difference? What do you believe is the difference between the inner city and the outskirts?
What do you mean?
Like the inner city, like, cause you know how like inner city we have so many problems that go on in the inner city. But then when you go on the outskirts of Philadelphia, they deal with their different problems. So what's the difference between the outskirts of Philadelphia and then what's the difference between the inner city of Philadelphia that you believe?
I just think there's just more nonsense in the inner city. That if you just want me to be honest, like so for example, Philly versus Delco. Like I was born and raised in Philly, you
Yes.
know, and I've had the pleasure to live in Delaware County, in different parts of Delaware County, in most of my adult life, and it as crazy as it sounds, for me personally, I just feel like the only difference that it does make is more so like the financial the financial stability of that area,
Yes.
or the gentrified areas, which is very unfortunate because I feel as though there's a lot going on in the inner city. My name is Kouraj. So Kouraj. It's nice to meet you. But I feel as though there's a lot of change going on in the inner city
Yes.
right now, and they are not good changes. And like I said, change is hard, but also to do it where it's just so heavily populated.
Yeah.
Like that's a big difference too. Like in the inner cities, everyone's together. Like ants, like a family of ants. Versus Delco, things are a little bit more spaced out, and there's still like a little bit more freedom and breathing room. So I do feel like that's kind of the difference.
Yes.
That's a factor into the difference. Like I feel like there are multiple factors that play into that. Whether the area is gentrified or whether is not. Or how close you are in the city. I feel like the closer you get to the actual city, you really kind of feel a shift in the air a little bit. So
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Now, what do you feel as though has been that major shift? I'm sorry. What do you feel as though that been that major shift, right? That within the community, right? Especially when it comes to gentrification, right? Why is gentrification so detrimental in these times right now? Is gentrification playing a part? Do you believe that gentrification is playing a part within gun violence also? Because we having a lot of gun violence within the city. How is gentrification tying into gun violence? Or how is gun violence tying into gentrification?
um, I definitely believe they go hand in hand. Because okay, I'm trying to tread lightly as well, because this can be a sensitive subject for lots of people. So I want to be courteous of that and conscious of that.
Yes.
I feel like things being gentrified, I feel as though it's putting the Black community or people who are not, or even just people who are not in that category, in a corner. And it's just kind of making people have to resort to what they know. You know, like I grew up in West Philly and bounced between West and North. And I've seen that story play out too many times where
Yeah.
people just felt like they were put in a corner, you know? And with gentrification, and, you know, I talk about this with my family all the time,
Yes.
how it's targeted to specific areas on purpose for a reason,
Yes.
and how I believe, this is not confirmed nor denied, and how I believe, you know, in my opinion, that the way certain areas are being gentrified is to separate us, but also to kind of just get us all to, which kind of forces everybody to have to go to the same places,
Yes.
which is places that they can afford. And, you
Yes.
know, 'cause let's face it, when things are gentrified, their prices go up, and everybody can't afford to live in a gentrified area. So the
Yes.
people who can't afford to do that, they all get pushed to the same areas where they can. And, you know, not everybody is blessed to be able to see a life beyond gun violence
Yes.
and beyond that being the only option. You know, as much of a perfect world that we want to live in, that's not the case. So a lot of the time, I feel as though it puts people in a corner and makes people have to result to what they know versus the change that could happen, because, you know, you have, like, oh, he took the words right out of my mouth, where, you know, you have those parts of the city that are being ignored.
Yes.
And so they do what they have to do to survive. And
Yes.
you know, a lot of the time, like, that's what it comes down to. It comes down to survival. Now, am I condoning it? No. I am a firm believer that though change is hard, and change can be the hardest thing in the world, it takes steps. It's chess, not checkers. But I am a firm believer of, even despite what the world can show you and try to put on your plate, you can go to a whole nother restaurant and pick a different plate.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
I'm very blessed to have had parents in my life where, despite where I grew up and how people grew up around me, to remind me that that is not the only option in life, you know. And I try to, when people cross my path, and try to just be, even if they didn't know that in the past, be a present example of what change looks like. Because, you know, my parents, they grew up with that life, you know, and they told me and my brother all my life that they wanted to make sure that we saw something different, even despite what was actually going on around us. Now, they didn't make us, you know, there were certain days where they weren't, you know, or they still were very protective, but at the same time, they were also very realistic with us too. They just also implemented that hope that I feel as though our community is very scared to touch, yet alone even hold and obtain and sustain it for themselves.
Yes.
So that, I feel as though they really go hand in hand, you know.
Yes. Absolutely. That's heavy. That's heavy. I heard so much within you talking that I have a excellent question for you, right? Considering that we have
You're coming with the questions today, brother.
absolutely considering that we have so much going on, right, in society around us, right? Why have we gotten so far away from loving each other in our communities? And truthfully, right now, what do you believe is the difference, and why do we have so much of a imbalance and going at it with each other? Why is there so much disconnection between black man and black woman at these moments right now?
Oh, okay. I believe our generation is very hard to trust. Okay. So I just think it's funny, because I was just talking about this to one of my girlfriends, where I genuinely believe that, like, our generation is so afraid to trust, and in ourselves, let alone in one another, because of whether we've seen what we've seen our parents do, or just because we went through so many different things, and we're also that weird generation that's kind of in between. So we've kind of seen it all. Like, we've seen the era of not having a cell phone, but having the best cell phone around. You know what I'm saying? Where we went from having the AOL guy on the desktop, and to having iPads and iWatches and things like that. And I think we're desensitized a little bit to yeah, it really does. And I think it's because I feel like everybody in the chat today is like really like helping along with like putting
exactly. I'm loving it.
Which I really love, because I was about to go into that, where I was just like, I think it's just black men not knowing what it is to be a black man, and fully understanding of that, as well as a black woman not fully understanding what it means to be a black woman as individuals. So we can't get to the conversation as a unit without people really doing that self-reflection within oneself. Because me personally, I do look at our community, and I'm just like, girl, you don't feel that way. You're just mad. Boy, I know you're just mad. Relax. And it's not just one specific person. It's more so just as a whole, where I feel as though, and this is kind of where I get to it with my friends, where I say, at the end of the day, we can blame it on the community, we can blame it on politics, we can blame it on global warming, we can blame it on each of this all we want to, but at the end of the day, it does always come down to ourselves and us taking each other seriously, so the world can take us seriously. Because at the end of the day, like I always say that, and it's not the most funnest subject, and I'm not dismissing how people treat our community. I'm not dismissing that at all. But what I am saying is that we as a community have gone through so much that somehow along the way we've turned against each other, and we've always been against each other. But I feel as though our generation is the first generation that is actually truly capable of making that big generational shift in our community, because we have access to what our ancestors did not. We even have access to what our parents did not. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, I just feel like our generation is very stubborn and independent. Now, I'm not saying that independence shouldn't be there. Independence definitely should. But, for example, I'm a firm believer. I'm an independent woman. But I'm an independent woman that also has no problem saying I want a partner in my life. And it always comes down to, if you don't understand yourself and what you want for yourself as a person and a human being, there's no way that you can even indulge in that conversation with a partner or with someone else, or even not just a life partner, but another person who just doesn't understand where you're coming from, and just respecting the different views. Because I feel like sometimes that goes wrong too, where, just as an example, the black man versus the black woman, where if we're on opposite sides of the argument, just in general, speaking for the majority from what I've seen lately, it's, oh, okay, well then you're just against all women. Oh, then you're just against all black men. You're just against all black women. It's like, no. We don't have to jump to that extreme. We can just stay focused on here and stay focused on the fact that you guys just may not handle that situation very well, instead of just jumping always to, not always jumping to, the extreme, which is they just don't like that, like all of us as a race, if that makes any sense.
Yes. I get exactly what you're saying. It's like nowadays people don't love learning anymore. People don't love knowledge anymore. So most of the time when they hear these things, you may have an intelligent way to say something, and most people jump to the mode of not understanding at all. They just straight jump to, oh, well, you feel like this, well, you feel like that. And as a culture, if we continually to keep doing that, like we've been doing that long enough, like it's time to stop. We done did it for so long. This is why we have dying generations. This is why we have young boys right now wearing pooh shiesty masks, thinking that they can rob everybody and talk to everybody disrespectful. This is why we have young girls that people are afraid to speak on topics. This is why we have young girls dressed in like prostitutes, all of them wearing the same hairstyles like women who are promoting prostitution. And these are the things that we are afraid to speak on because we feel like, oh, as a community, we should just be quiet, be quiet. And it's like, no, we need our men standing up straight, and we need our women like ladies, most important. So it's like, I look at it like this sometimes. Uh, we need our men back strong, and we need our women back feminine. If if I'm a man and my woman is just as hard as me, we can't be.
It's
You
okay.
feel me?
I'm the same way. Me personally, it's like I'm as a woman. But I will
Yeah,
say, like as a woman, I will be like, okay, if I'm gonna induct you, 2024, we here we support all. We support love here. Me as a black me, I as a black man, I feel the same way. I'm like I don't want to be with somebody where um that level still like is at the same as me. You know what I'm saying? Where they
exactly.
I still gotta be able to be like, if it's dark outside and something about to go down, I know you got me. But I'm not gonna feel like you got me if I feel like both of us gonna be. Now, me personally, I can't talk like that because I know how to throw hands. But my daddy made sure I do. I lived in West Philly, of course. But even still, as a woman, I don't want to have to feel like I have to resort to that or think like I have to do that.
Exactly.
And it's just,
Exactly.
and yeah, so I agree with you, man. And I think it's just all
Young and
much
government.
love, much love.
You
I
already
definitely
know.
agree with you about uh staying open minded. Something my father always used to say to me. He said it in a sermon was remain teachable. Um, because the second that you stop learning as an adult, as a person and a human being, that's when you stop growing as a person. And the
Yes.
world is forever changing. Life is forever changing. People always forever change. And we have to remember that and also be respectful of the fact that not everybody's in the same growing space as you.
Yes.
So I really think it just comes down to respect
Hmm.
and I think and just having a mutual basic respect for just human beings and just understanding that this person may not see how you are, this person may not be in the same space as you are, but what's important is the space around the whole situation. As long as it still feels like a safe space to where people can learn and can grow, because the second that somebody shuts down or gets defensive, then it's oh, I don't want to talk about this anymore, and then it's not a thing.
Yes. 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 Absolutely. Absolutely, sister. And as these times get more and more crucial, right? Do you believe in your heart right now? Are we living in a time of spiritual warfare?
Yes. Yeah. I think I think our generation, especially over the past few years, have kind of really experienced, what our ancestors have gone through a little bit,
Yes.
and are really starting to truly understand because we're in our young adulthood. When we're teenagers and we learn these things, we learn them because that's what's being taught to us. But when we start truly learning and understanding, not just through not just through textbook, but through personal life experiences and just seeing what's going on in the world, it definitely makes people feel like a spiritual warfare. within themselves as far as what to do, and how to make that change. If you should make that change, I think all of us as a Black community experience those feelings and those emotions, especially now. Like, we don't have to, from Trayvon Martin and so forth. We can just keep going to the ones that touch the TV screen and to the ones that don't. And, just seeing that and living in it every day. I think it's hard for our generation, especially because, like, for example, I'll use my own life. My family, God bless them, my parents, like I said, they blessed me to definitely make sure I didn't see certain aspects of the world.
Yes.
And then stepping out of that nest, it did kind of like hit me on a different level, because I saw it with my own eyes at that point. Like, it wasn't just, mom and dad just explaining it to me. It was, here it is. Like, this is the hardcore truth about it. This is what it is. And, it makes you question, how can you do this? What can you do? Do you deal with it? Are you the person that tries to be the big change, or are you the person that just kind of doesn't say anything, kind of just accepts what some people do, which is like, this is just how we're meant to be treated. And, me personally, I will always stand by, no, it's not. And I'll always stand up for the people who do believe that that's the life and that's how we should be treated, because it's not. Even with that being said, I think the spiritual warfare comes in where, all right, this sounds weird, but like, kind of like with like being a woman, right? I've had this conversation with other women where they feel like that stereotype where we can't have a job and be a wife. Like, we can't have the best of both worlds. Or like that kind of said earlier about like how women should be more feminine. I definitely agree with you to a degree, No, I agree with you, because I do feel as though like women are very, very guard up. I feel like they're very, very guard up. Rightfully so, what's going on in the world, but it's still just unfortunate at the fact that is kind of what the case is. And I'm not firing shots at anyone, so please no one take this offensively, but statistics wise, there are a lot of women who come from single homes, or a lot of African Americans that come from single parent homes, which contributes to later in adulthood whether or not you want to indulge in being dependent on someone in that way. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I think the spiritual warfare is whether we should make that change or not. And I feel like our generation is how we say there's every few generations, there's a generation that's supposed to shift and make that and actually make the change, like not just be a part of it, but actually change it and break those generational curses. I think that's what our generation is. I think our generation is battling really heavily right now with acknowledging that they are the generational curse breakers, but also understanding what comes with it and not acceptance of certain things, just being able to go through certain hoops and go through certain things to be able to get to that other side. Because, something that back in, I know this is horrible. I know this is probably horrible to quote right now, but when Jay-Z and Beyonce sat during the national anthem or something, and then they found out that he was a chairman in the NFL, they asked him, how can he sit at a table full of white men, right? And he said something that at that time in my life, it really stuck to me. And that was, how can I make the change if I'm not willing to sit at the table? And that means And I took that as, how are you going to just complain from the sidelines? How are you going to say all these great things that can actually change from the sidelines? And you want to see the change, and you want to see that for our community, but you're not willing to sit with the people that are actually doing it to the community. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's probably like is hard, but it's doable and it can be done. And you can't make the change unless you're actually in the room. You got to be in the room where it happens. You know what I'm saying? You can't be saying, "Oh, I have all these 50 million things," but you're not going to walk through that door and actually say it to the people that it needs to be said to. And I think that's what our spiritual warfare in the generation is right now, which is, are we the ones who are going to open that door, or are we the ones that are just going to keep screaming behind
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely, sister. And we're gonna narrow it down to our last two questions, right?
it?
How important, right? How important is the creator of the universe, the creator of the world right now? How important is it to stay connected to the creator and to be grounded in goodness right now?
Oh, it's more crucial now more than ever. And some people believe in the universe. I believe in God. Some people believe in Allah. So whoever you believe in, that you believe created this world, it connects to your spiritual self now, because there is a change coming in this world, and it's a change that none of us will be able to prevent. None of us will be able to stop, and it's at a point where it is very important to spiritually know who you are, because if you do not spiritually know who you are, you will be a lost soul in whatever's coming. So and the goodness comes from that. You know what I'm saying? Because when you connect to your spiritual self, it only makes you want to be the best parts of yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be the positive going to be screaming at you more than the negative. Even if it feels like the negative, like right here in your face, you're always still going to have that notion like, no. It's always going to come down to a choice on which way you're going to go. Even if it's for a split second, it's still that split second that you have a choice. And knowing who you are spiritually and being grounded in that, you won't be easily swayed. You won't be easily moved. And it's not easy. It's hard. It's hard being spiritually grounded, especially when you, at some point, you have spiritual enemies coming around you, or you have things coming your way and headed your way. But that doesn't matter, because if you stay grounded in what you believe in and knowing who you are as a spiritual person, and also not just who you are, but what you can put out into the world too. Because how you carry yourself spiritually, that is just as important, because it comes out externally no matter what you do. So no matter what you do, somebody's going to feel that spiritual energy from you. And you don't know what your spiritual energy can do to another person. You don't know if that can change that person's day, or if you're having a bad day, that person can walk right past you, and then their day is ruined, and they don't even know why. You know, so there's definitely a big shift in this world coming on. I consider myself to be very empathic, so me and my friends have been saying that for a long time, for maybe a year and some change, that there's a change coming in this world, and really having a firm understanding and who you believe in, why you believe in it, and also believing in a better future. No matter how dark it seems. Like, one of my songs is "Keep Grinding Towards the Light," but sometimes that light is just a better day, a better future. Even if it's not for us, it's for the next generation, for our children. You know, because we all come into that time where it's time for our generation to start, you know, making the new generation. You know, so all of that is different. So definitely stay grounded, because it's so crucial, especially within these next couple of years.
Absolutely, sister. Absolutely. and you somewhat answered my last question, but I'm gonna just switch it up a little bit, and I'm gonna just
Okay.
just give you I'm gonna just give you a chill one. No, it's actually a chill question. It's something that you definitely should be able to answer, and it's fun too. Most importantly, what do you love most about yourself?
Me?
Yes.
I would say, I don't know. I would say, it's like a battle. It's like I'm tied between my goofiness and my kind heart. I will say that. Only because sometimes I like reserve my goofiness sometimes because I always like, no, this isn't the right place. But in all reality, I'm like a real big goofball. I love making people laugh. I love laughing. It's just laughing is such a great way of just feeling good. Like, so it's a great positive expression. But I would say my kind heart only because I'm still learning how to use it properly. But I love um I love how it's not hard for me to second guess being kind to someone. I'm somebody where even if I walk down the street is like, hi, like even like sometimes they be, how people be looking at you like, why are you talking to me? I'll be like, hi, have a good day. Like, yeah, like that's just who I am. Or like even like I'm one of those people where even if I'm upset with someone or frustrated with someone, it really does not matter because if that person is in need or if that person needs something or needs me, I'm there. And
Yes.
I'm definitely one of those people. Now, like I said, I'm still learning to use it properly, for so that way it can be it's most effective for everyone, including myself.
Yes.
Let's face it, sometimes everybody don't deserve your kindness. In certain moments.
True.
But I still love the fact that even despite being able to choose kindness, I still love that my first initial reaction is still to be kind. I love that about myself.
Okay.
I also love the fact that I love food. I'm a for real foodie. Like I love food.
Yeah.
Like I love food so much where if it's bad, I'm one of those people I will tell you it's bad. I will be like, why would you do that? Like you should love this. You should love this dish. There should be love in this dish. I don't appreciate it.
That's heavy. Listen, that's heavy. Listen, I love the response. Let the people know where can they find you at.
You can find me at official Kouraj. That's Kourej. On Facebook it's just Kouraj. On Apple Music, Spotify it's just Kouraj. Just official Kouraj is my Instagram handle. Thank you so much to everybody. Yeah, I know. I love to cook. I can't help it. I love food.
Absolutely.
And shout out to all of y'all who've been in the live today too. Like shout out to my people who slid through for a little bit. And to you too, Blood Brother Mike. You was in it, and everybody who chimed in and gave those comments. It meant a lot, and I love stuff like that. And thank you for having me again. I really
Listen, not a
appreciate it.
problem. Listen, not a problem. Listen, that's what I try to do. I try to bring the community together. Community, they need to hear all these questions. They need to hear all the answers, and they need to be responding. So listen, Blood Brother Mike, we're gonna get you on soon because listen, this brother got something to say. But listen, we gotta bring you on soon, Blood Brother. So listen,
Yeah.
y'all need to be checking out official Kouraj. I want to say this again. Y'all need to be checking out. Go support official Kouraj. This sister right here, she has so many different talents and she is doing it. And let the people know. Oh. I almost forgot. Let the people know where's the music at right now.
Oh. You everywhere. Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, Pandora, everywhere. If you just type in my name, Kourej, you'll find it. Like I said, I have some singles out already. I just dropped my album in April. And I got a couple things coming up in 2025, which I'm excited for because not yet. I'm not on Bandcamp yet, but I will be. I need to get on Bandcamp. my music friends have been on me about that. I definitely do need to get on Bandcamp, but not yet. And I'm very excited for where my music's coming now because like I said before, I did a lot of like heavy stuff, you know. But see, he said, please. I've done a lot of heavy stuff, but now I'm really excited because I'm in a much lighter headspace, and I'm indulging in some different vocal styles and things like that. Kind of bringing back that '90s vibe, that '90s R&B neo soul vibe. So I'm really excited for what's to come for my music next year.
Yes. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, sister.
Thank
Oh,
you.
that was wonderful. Yes, y'all. Listen, y'all. Again, go support official Kouraj. That's Koru. No, Kouraj. K.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kouj. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all, but listen, we had so much fun in this interview. We had so much fun in this interview. Listen, thank you, sis, for giving us the we needed this in this interview. The people needed it. So most importantly, y'all, listen, y'all, we could have your favorite singer, we could have your favorite actor. Listen, we could have your favorite vocalist, we could have your favorite pianist, listen, your favorite keyboardist. Listen, we could have the little girl down the street with the lemonade stand, or it could be you. So most importantly, y'all, yes, you. So, yes. We are the platform of truth, the home of the champions, and a place where we uplift man, woman, and child. Peace and love, y'all. One.
Peace and love. Thank you so
Thank
much. Have a good night.
you. Yeah, good night to you, sister.
Embrace it. T.Y.I, Poetic G. Peace and love. One. I love it.